Hey Gators, welcome back. I hope that you had a great spring break and that you got to have some fun and rest and spend lots of time with your family. I know that I rested a lot, took lots of naps, and played a lot with my dogs. We enjoyed this beautiful weather that we've been having and came outside a lot, so I hope that you got to do that as well. I'm outside today enjoying the beautiful weather again and making another video for you guys. So I am not sure what's going to happen with music just yet. So before we dive into anything new, I wanted to kind of go over your AMI packets, what was in there for music already. So we'll talk about that in just a few minutes. If you watched the last video that I put out for you guys, you heard me say that first and second graders had talked about the blues in February before we left school. And so before we get started with anything else, I just wanted to sing some blues with you guys because first and second graders got to learn that it's all about feelings and expressing your feelings. So I just wanted to do that before we got started. So just a quick reminder about blues form in music. When you're singing it, what you need to do is think of a phrase or a sentence about how you're feeling. And you have that phrase and then you sing it. Well, then you just sing the same thing again. So you sing your phrase and then you sing it again. And then you think of another phrase or sentence that goes along with your thought to complete it about how you feel. And you want to make sure that that second phrase or sentence rhymes with the first one. So if you use the word mad on your first phrase or sentence, you don't want to use the word happy on your second one to go along with it because you want it to rhyme. So another word you could use instead of happy to rhyme with mad is, that's right, glad. So you could use mad and glad. One of the things I love the most about the blues, and especially singing the blues, is that you don't necessarily have to have instrumental music to be able to sing and express yourself. So I'm not going to have any accompanying music with me, just singing out here in nature. So if you want to try to sing along with me, you can, or afterwards rewind it and sing back along with me, or make up your own. So here we go. Here's Miss Barbarato's Blues. It's a beautiful day, but I'm still feeling blue. Yeah, I said it's a beautiful day, but I'm still feeling blue. I'll feel much better when I get to see you. I see your sweet faces in my mind. Yeah, I see your sweet faces in my mind. And it gets me through this time. Yeah. So, you can just have fun with the blues. I really do miss you guys. So that is truly how I've been feeling. It's been beautiful and it's been a great time to rest and spend time with my family, but I miss seeing you guys every day and getting to hug you and all of that stuff. So those are my blues, how I'm feeling right now. I am excited that through technology that we can still communicate and still keep in touch and that we can still learn and grow. So let's talk about those AMI packets so far, all the stuff that you've had in there for music. So you all had a paper that looks similar to this with a bunch of different activities on it for you to choose from to complete. So we're going to talk about all of the activities on your pages that were the same or similar. So everyone can watch this first part, and then you can skip ahead to your grade for specific stuff. But everybody, I'm pretty sure, got this paper right here for our lovely snow day word rhythms. And we will talk about that in another video that I'll make for you this week. So one activity that was the same for all grades was to sing a song about snowflakes to the tune of Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, or the alphabet song. So obviously when we made these packets, it was intended for snow days and not necessarily something like this. So if you sang that, great. I would still love for it to snow, but I have updated it to be a little more appropriate for this time. So instead of snowflake, snowflake, we'll have springtime, springtime. So, and this is how it goes. Springtime, springtime, spring is here, such a lovely time of year. Rain and sun make flowers grow, nature gives us quite a show. Springtime, springtime, spring is here, such a lovely time of year. So, I want you to sing that with me. It's very simple. Springtime, springtime, spring is here. Such a lovely time of year. Rain and sun make flowers grow. Nature gives us quite a show. And then you repeat, springtime, springtime, spring is here. Such a lovely time of year. So, sing that with me this time, okay? Here we go. Springtime, springtime, spring is here, such a lovely time of year. Rain and sun make flowers grow, nature gives us quite the show. Springtime, springtime, spring is here, such a lovely time of year. Yay, good job, guys. A couple of the other activities that were all the same were to listen to your favorite song and keep a steady beat in some way by patting your legs or clapping your hands. And I just want to encourage you to do that. Another activity that was the same was making a maraca. And if you did that, that's another way that you can keep a steady beat to your favorite song, is playing that maraca. And we'll have more on the maracas in a minute. Another activity that was the same for everyone was to attempt to write your own songs. So all I did was take the snowflake, snowflake, and just change the words and make it appropriate for springtime. You can do that and write it about whatever you want, about how your time at home has been. Or you can use a different tune. You can make up your own melody, your own tune. So just continue to try to be creative in making your own music. Okay, now about the maracas. Every grade had the activity to make a maraca, and I really want to encourage you to do that if you haven't already done it. If you need to get permission from your family, from your parents, please be sure that you do that. But it can be pretty simple, and if you happened to see the music teacher from Northwest, Mr. Turner, he made a video giving great examples on different bottles you could use and different items that you could place inside the bottle to make the maraca. So if you have a way to go look at that or ask your parents if they can show it to you, that would be a great resource. I am going to show you a couple that I made. So the example in the AMI packet gives a water bottle, and that it's perfect. The packet suggests using dry rice or beans, and that's absolutely a great thing to use. But if your parents don't want you to use the rice or the beans, which I totally understand, there's lots of different things that you can put in it. So today I have a water bottle, and if you can see, sort of, you can see I didn't let mine dry out completely. But I just picked up a bunch of small pebbles from my yard, and I even picked up a few acorns and put it in there. And you can see that I didn't fill it up hardly at all. Like, there's a whole lot more room in there. You can fill it up basically almost as much as you want, but the notion is probably that you're going to shake it like this. However, you can also shake it side to side, and that way you don't require as much stuff to put in it. So, right? So, that's the water bottle, and we'll use that in just a moment. And then in Mr. Turner's video, he talked about how some other bottles that you could use, like an old medicine bottle. So if your parents or you take vitamins and you've got an old vitamin bottle, then it's a perfect thing to use. I filled this one with marbles, little marbles. So you can use beads. I think Mr. Turner's video had pennies, hair clips. I mean, almost anything you can put in here that's hard and not breakable, then you can use. So this one you can do side to side as well. And then, okay, so let's sing the springtime song again. And I'm going to show you how easy it is to keep the steady beat with these homemade maracas. So if you already made a maraca by using the AMI packet and you want to grab it real quick before we sing so that you can keep the steady beat along with me, that would be so great. If you want to pause the video and ask your parents if you can make one real quick, then that would be great as well. So here we go. Springtime, springtime, spring is here. Such a lovely time of year. Rain and sun make flowers grow. Nature gives us quite the show. Springtime, springtime, spring is here. Such a lovely time of year. Yay! Good. So now I'm going to talk about each grade specifically. So you can skip ahead to your grade level. I've got those times listed in the description of the video. But if you want to listen through all of them, you might find something that you enjoy in each grade level. So I encourage you to listen to all of them. Hello, my sweet kindergarten friends. So the only thing that was different in your AMI packet was for you to go through the snowflake song using your 4 voice types. Who can tell me what the 4 voice types are? That's right. They are sing, speak, whisper, shout. So if you've already gone through the snowflake song using those 4 voice types, then awesome, and I'm so proud of you. If you've not made it there yet, that's okay. Now you can do it with the springtime song. So you can sing through the springtime song, and then you can speak through it, then you can whisper through it, and then you can shout through it. And that'll be a lot of fun. So I really encourage you to do that and any of the other activities that are there so far. You can be on the lookout for videos for your opera. I miss you guys, and I hope that you're having lots of fun and that you are listening to a lot of music. Alright, this one is for my first and second graders because my first graders didn't really have any activity in there that was different from everybody else's. And so I wanted to give my first graders an opportunity to have a different activity right now. So that activity that's different in the second grade packet is to find 3 objects in your house that make a sound. Be creative, and with your parents' permission, of course. But find 3 objects that can make a sound of some sort, and then I want you to write what object it is down, and then out beside it, write what it sounds like. Describe how it sounds to you. Is it loud? Is it soft? Does it have a high pitch? Does it have a low pitch? Does it have a medium pitch? Do you have to tap it to make it sound? Do you have to shake it? Describe it for me, okay? And then if you do that, well, I would love for you to email that or have your parents send me a picture of it so that I can see what creative things you're finding in your house to make music with. And what would be even better is if those 3 objects, you could make a song with them. That would be awesome. So 1st and 2nd graders, I hope that you're having a good time getting to do some school at home and that you're listening to a lot of music and having fun. So 3rd and 4th graders, you had the same assignment that was different in your packets, and it was about reading the page about John Cage. From that, your assignment was to make a list of everyday items around the house or wherever that you think you could use as an instrument, and then choose 3 of the items to play and describe their sounds. So, of course, I want to preference everything where you're using everyday household items to please make sure that you have permission and approval from your parents, okay? But if you've not done that already, I encourage you to do so. I do want to talk about John Cage for just a moment in case you haven't read it. I do want you to go back and read the whole page for yourself, but one reason I chose this for y'all is just I really think that it's a neat idea that every sound is music, which means that everything we do is music. Every conversation we have, every silent moment we have is music, and that's what John Cage says that you can read in your paper. But it says Cage was a firm believer that every sound is musical, and therefore everything we do is music. So he didn't really believe in the concept of silence, true silence, because even in like the quietest place, you can still hear your heartbeat if you get quiet enough. So I just think it's a neat concept and one for us to explore. So not only do I hope that you've done the assignment that you already had, but I want us to do another assignment together right now, and that is that I want us to sit in silence for 1 minute and make a list of everything that we hear. So if you don't already have a paper and a pencil or a marker or something to write with, pause the video and grab a piece of paper and something to write with real quick. If you have your paper now and something to write with, we're going to sit together in silence for 1 minute, and you can use the sounds that you're hearing out here that I'm hearing, and you can also use the own sounds that you hear in your house as well. So our list might be a little bit different, but 1 minute, no talking, just listening to the sounds around you, and I want you to write down what you hear. So if you're ready, we're gonna start in 3, 2, 1. Okay, that's a minute. I hope that your list is longer than mine, but I'm gonna show you my list. So I have the lawnmower, obviously, because my husband is mowing out in the yard. So that's probably the most prevalent thing that I can hear and you can hear if you're listening to my sound. And then also, when I was writing with my marker, that was making a sound on the paper. I also could have written down paper crinkling because I was making a crinkle. But I also heard crickets. Can still hear them. And then I finally did hear some birds again. Earlier when I was sitting out here, I could hear the birds really well, but now, like I said, the lawnmower is most prevalent. So I would love for you to share with me what things are on your list from your house that you heard during that minute of silence. And I encourage you to do it again sometime, without my sound on, and just for yourself make a list. What I want you to do, once you've made a list, you can use this list or another time do a new list, but I want you to, out beside each item, just write down what it sounded like to you and if it sounded musical at all to you. Like, do you think that the sound of a lawnmower has some sort of musical quality to it that you could put it in a song? Just think about that and write it down. So John Cage was definitely an interesting person, and he made a lot of changes in music in his time. And in your paper you'll read about a couple of his most famous works, like Imaginary Landscape Number 4, where they use 12 different radios and they're all set to 12 different stations playing at the same time. So it's never the same, and that was a big thing for John Cage, as you can read, is that he liked the idea of chance music, where you could have a piece of music that was never the same twice, because different people are doing it at a different place at a different time. And then you'll also see one of his most famous pieces is called 4:33, and it's for 4 minutes and 33 seconds. Someone would just sit at their instrument doing nothing, just sitting there in silence. And so you have that kind of what we just did, where you're listening to the sounds around you, and that's what the piece of music is. That's what he's saying. So I want to share another work of John Cage's that's not listed in your packet, and that is called Water Walk. And so there's just a little clip of it. I will also put the link in the description of this video, so that if your parents allow you to, or they can take you to the link themselves, that you can watch the entire work. So I'm just going to show you a little clip. But in that clip, I want you to be on the lookout. If you read your paper, you'll have read that one of the things that John Cage created was using what's called the prepared piano, and it's using it in different ways besides the traditional way of playing it. So you'll see the piano in this clip and some of the odd ways that he uses it, so be on the lookout for that.
Water Walk because it contains water and because I walk during its performance.
That figures, doesn't it? Now, also, two things I want you to notice. Over here, Mr. Cage has a tape recording machine, which will provide much of the... Will you touch the machine so we can know where it is? Which will provide much of the background. Also, he works with a stopwatch. The reason that he does this is because these sounds are in no sense accidental in their sequence. They each must fall mathematically at a precise point. So he watches his watch as he works. He takes it seriously. I think it's interesting. If you are amused, you may laugh. If you like it, you may buy the recordings. John Cage and Water Walk.
hope that you enjoyed learning about John Cage and that you continue to think about music and the sounds that you hear around you, and that you continue creating music on your own at home. Gators, I love you all so much and miss you more than you can imagine. I hope that you are continuing to work hard on your schoolwork and spending lots of extra time with your family. I don't know when I'll get to see you again, but I'm so thankful for technology that allows us to keep in communication even when we can't see each other face to face. Please, if you've done anything from the AMI packets, take a video, take a picture, have your parents email it to me, send it on Dojo. I'll put my phone number out in the description so that you can text it to me. I would love to see what you're doing with music while we're at home. So be looking for more videos to come out so that we can continue to learn and do music together. Love you all, and I hope you have a great week.